Planet Zoo in 2022 has been nothing but phenomenal. We've gotten so many awesome DLCs that I just want to take the time to kind of sit back and kind of talk about what we were able to get from the Frontier team over the course of an entire year. And beyond there, talk about what's in store for 2023. So without further ado, let's talk about that. Welcome everyone, my name is Leaf, and it's so great to have you guys back over here for another kind of talking video. Hope you guys enjoy these. So, I wanted to talk about this year, and what it really meant for Planet Zoo, and kind of for me specifically. So let's just sit back and kind of talk about all the awesome stuff that we got. First on the list is the Wetlands Animal Pack. It feels so long ago. The Wetlands Animal Pack brought us so many awesome animals, be it the capybara, Asian small-clawed otter, and even the wild water buffalo, I'll just say, is a really fun choice. While not necessarily the most shining pack out there, the Wetlands Animal Pack was a absolutely huge hit, not only for the animals that it brought in, but also the enrichment items that we were able to get out of it as well. From the items for the hot springs to a few other enrichment items, we were able to get so many awesome and unique kind of animations from animals that it really showed how fun this game can be when Planet Zoo gives us this interaction between animals and stuff. It's just super awesome. Not to mention that we got some really awesome scenery from the Wetlands Animal Pack as well, be it the Aquaria trees, I really hope I'm pronouncing those right, as well as the mangrove trees. These guys were awesome, bald cypress specifically. Overall, I have to give this pack and the update around an 8 out of 10. It was just a really solid pack, and it brought us Boggy Bottom Zoo, which I think a lot of you guys tend to like a lot. Now, after that, we were followed by a little bit of a waiting period, as is always the case, and we were gifted the Conservation Pack. So, the Conservation Pack, I don't really feel too strongly towards. I know it gave us a ton of awesome building pieces, specifically for items that you would use to really build behind the scenes and whatnot, but the Conservation Pack really never held my interest as a small animal builder. The animals that we did get were exquisite. We got the Scimitar Horned Oryx, the Siamang, we got the Przewalski's Wild Horse, but all in all, I feel like I really wasn't too impressed with this pack, specifically because the scenery was just such a huge aspect of that. But even then, the scenery was just stuff that I would use as blueprints beforehand. But as of late, I've been using the Conservation Pack a lot, and I don't know, I've just been really enjoying it as of late. It's just such a really awesome building pack that if you're a builder out there for Planet Zoo, I would really suggest you guys get this one. Another, I would say 7 out of 10. Again, the animals really could have been a lot better. The Siamangs could brachiate a lot more and just have better animations overall. But all in all, I think it was a pretty good pack overall, but probably the weakest out of this year's packs. Now, many of you guys may be saying, you can't possibly think that the Twilight Pack is better than the Conservation Pack, and that I'm actually saying yes, it is. Guys, I really do love the Twilight Pack. Not only did it give us Wildwood Zoo, but it was just a really solid pack overall. I was super impressed by all of the animals that we got in there. They're super useful for modding, specifically for my purposes where I like to make a lot more smaller animals, and they're just really awesome animals overall. I love the wombats, they're super adorable, love the raccoons, love the skunks, and the red fox, I do give it a lot of crap, but it is a really awesome animal overall, so I'm not really sure. I just really do like Twilight, not to mention that it came with such awesome building pieces. I was super impressed by these, and let's not even forget to mention, it gave us the first flying animals in the game, friggin' bats. I love Halloween, but I don't know, I just really, really do like Twilight, and for that reason, I'm gonna give it, and this might sound a little crazy over here, a 9 out of 10. I'm really super satisfied with all the pieces that we got, super satisfied with all the animals that we got, and it's my little hot take over here that it's going to be one of the best Planet Zoo packs of all time. Now, we can't also forget the Red Deer free DLC for the anniversary update. The Red Deer was just a really awesome animal to have, and while not really useful in my terms of purposes of like my classic North American zoo, we don't really have those guys too often in North America. It's just a really awesome animal. I can't really deny that, and it's going to make a lot of people happy, so I can't really give this one a rating. Screw it, 10 out of 10. 10 out of deers, okay? It gets 10 deers out of 10. Just a really awesome animal. Super happy that we got that. Moving on from there, the Grasslands Animal Pack. The Grasslands Animal Pack, it's just fantastic. It really is fantastic. We got so many really awesome and unique animals. The 9-banded armadillo is just worth the pack alone. It's incredible, it's highly detailed, and it's gorgeous. I really can't deny that. But it also gave us such really useful and really interesting choices for a Grasslands pack. The hyena turned out pretty good in the end. Very happy with that. The main wolf is gorgeous. Just the pieces that we got too. While we didn't get a lot, we got some really awesome grasses in here. And I would even say they're a lot more useful than the grasses that we got in the conservation pack, which is kind of weird. But it makes sense seeing that it's called the Grasslands pack. I don't know. I'm just super satisfied with the Grasslands Animal Pack and the butterflies. We can't even stop to mention the butterflies because they're just fantastic. I think it really bodes well for the future of Planet Zoo and what the team might be doing with that little exhibit box feature in the future. But again, Grasslands Animal Pack gets a solid 9 out of 10 for me. Really awesome choices, really awesome animals, really awesome pack. You guys should go get it if you haven't yet, of course. Now, let's talk about next year. We should probably just address this right off the bat. I think next year is the last year of support for Planet Zoo. I think the writing is kind of on the walls that they kind of had their huge push recently with, you know, all the awesome animals that we did get, all the awesome pieces that we did get. But I don't see this game lasting for that much longer in terms of official support. By unofficial support, I think this game is going to stand the test of time. I think it's going to last as long as Zoo Tycoon 2's legacy really did in the past, but I don't see us getting many DLCs beyond 2023. And you know what? I think that's perfectly fine. I think the game, right even now, is perfect. I think if we stop development on Planet Zoo right where we are right now after the Grasslands Animal Pack, I wouldn't be pissed. I wouldn't be angry. In fact, I'd be kind of happy because that would mean less mods for me to update in the future, but still regardless, I think the game is at a very good point right now. It's been at a good point ever since, I would say, conservation, that all the extra stuff, it just adds more sweetness to the pile. I think it just adds a lot more. And I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what else I would want out of the game, but in case of that, let's check out the meta wish list and see what you all have been putting on there. At the top of the meta wish list, we're just going to go down the top 5. We are looking at the Tasmanian Devil, African Crested Porcupine, Linnaeus's Two-Toed Sloth, Red River Hog, and Lar Gibbon at the top. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the Lar Gibbon. I think that's kind of a stupid choice to get, especially seeing how people don't really like the Siamang climbing. I think I would prefer not to get another gibbon species, just personally. The secretary bird is right below that, which I think is an even better choice. But the Goodfellows tree kangaroo is right below that, and if you combine the actual votes for both the Goodfellows tree kangaroo and the other tree kangaroos like the Matchies, it would be at the top of the list. I think that's perfectly justifiable right there. But looking at these animals that are kind of hovering around the top, I think it's very clear to see that we could be getting some very unique packs in the future. 2022 really graced us with some unique choices in terms of packs that I think we were all surprised. I don't think we expected a Wetlands Animal Pack. I don't think we expected a Twilight Pack. We didn't really expect a Conservation Pack. I think we all kind of expected a Grasslands pack to begin with, but I think moving forward, we're going to see that trend of the lands, quote unquote, being kind of followed. So Wetlands, Grasslands, and Highlands, which would give us some mountainous animals, as well as the islands. You see that? Islands would give us such animals that would really be represented by, let's just throw it out here. We could say Tasmanian Devil, we could say Kiwi, we could say Fusa. All these really wonderful animals that I think Planet Zoo might have for us on the table in the future. But moving forward from there, what would I want out of new scenery? I don't really care. I like to be surprised. I know a lot of you guys out there are very fun to build for, or at least you like to have a lot of fun to build. And I think moving forward, I don't care what kind of pieces we get. Would I like more flexi color rocks? Of course I would. Would I like more grasses? Oh, dog diggitally, I would love some. But I think I don't really care about any future scenery, just as long as we get some new pieces. That's really all I care about. But what I think everyone has on the tip of their minds right now is the possibility of marine animals and the possibility of flying animals. That being marine cetaceans and stuff like that, and birds. So let's talk about cetaceans first, because I feel like there's some other people out there who believe that we might be getting these. We're not. Okay, I'm just gonna say that right out the bat. I don't think the systems are in place for Planet Zoo to implement cetaceans. Would I like them? Of course. Even sirenians, which are like manatees and stuff, which actually do a lot better in captivity. I think the systems in place for Planet Zoo right now wouldn't allow for that. I think we're just going to have to rough it with mods is the only thing. The Planet Zoo kind of development cycle has kind of shown us that we're kind of avoiding fully marine animals at all costs. The closest thing that we got was the axolotl or axolotl, as you know, you're supposed to pronounce it. But marine animals, I think, are a no from Planet Zoo. However, I think birds are definitely on the table. I think the writing is pretty much on the walls that the birds are coming for Planet Zoo, be it how they kind of greenlit this flying system with the bats, and how they kind of further developed it a little bit more, especially after looking at the code for them, of butterflies and how interspecies aviaries would work, and how they would land on guests and stuff like that. I think we're getting the writing on the walls. I'll say that one more time, writing on the walls, for budgies, cockatiels, and other kinds of walkthrough birds. Would we be getting parrots? I'm not really sure. Would we be getting cockatiels and budgies? I think that's pretty much a must at this point, seeing how butterflies interact with guests and stuff. I don't know. I just really think that birds are definitely coming. Console edition. This is another thing that a lot of people tend to ask about. I don't really like console editions of the Planet games. I'm going to be completely honest over here. I think they're very clunky, and it's the absolute worst way to experience this stuff. However, I think we could probably bet on a console edition of Planet Zoo coming around, I would say, 2024. We didn't see the console edition of Planet Coaster coming until well after development kind of ended for it. I would say about a year after. So seeing if support would end in 2023, kind of like at the last tail end of that, I think we're definitely going to be able to see console edition for Planet Zoo coming around 2024, maybe in the summer of that season. I'm not really sure. Maybe it'd come with a few DLCs to start off with, like the Arctic Pack South America, kind of get your headliners from there. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that going forward. Do I really want a console edition? I honestly couldn't care less. But I think it's definitely a must at this point. It's just a matter of how far into the future we would expect it. Now, I do want to thank you guys for stopping by. That's pretty much all the points that I want to touch on over here, just in terms of the future of Planet Zoo and kind of the year in review. So thank you all so much for stopping by. You guys are the absolute best. Please make sure to lend your support in any way that you can, either leaving a like, maybe even consider subscribing. We're super close to 12,000 subscribers, so that's just really freaking cool. But thank you all so much for stopping by in the first place. You guys are the absolute best, and I hope you all have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Let me know in the comments about what you expect from the future of Planet Zoo down below. Am I right? Am I wrong? You let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you all in the next one. Take care and have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Goodbye now.